We have English liberal arts and we have English education. And we have a minor which is also minor in English. It has 7 courses. 3 of them are electives. Well, there's a whole variety of things. I try to explain this to people who want to join a department, is that when you know language and when you know English and when you know how to write and when you know how to express yourself, you can not only become a professor, you can even go into journalism, you can go into the media, you can go into all those fields where you need skills in expressing yourself. And one of the things that my students like is that you could even write a script for a movie and make a lot of money. But there are also very serious courses like law, for example. You can become an attorney. You could go into public relationing. And I tell them, you know, that every big company, including Lincoln University, has a public relationing department or a public relationing officer. So public relationing is a very important expression of language and literature and ability to think and ability to persuade people and to help them to understand what we're trying to do. So in that sense, I mean, you could even go into the police. I mean, you know, some policemen know how to talk and they get the best results, and there are others who don't. You could even become a stockbroker. You could even sell insurance. So there are all kinds of things. In fact, I have a chart over here, which is, I won't hold it up now, it's a big chart. You could become, if you know, we have now languages are part of this department now. You could even become a translator. So we call it now modern languages and literature. So we didn't have the languages before, but now the languages department is part of us. And 7 people have come from around the world to teach languages, more than before. So in that sense, there's a tremendous amount of variety. No one can hold you down if you know your English. Right from the top positions in the media to writing for a small newspaper, down to becoming a professor, or teaching, going into the whole educational field and so on. So it's vast. I think we have more diversity and possibilities in English and in languages and literature than any other course. I would sort of put that as a challenge. Let me say a few words about literature. Many times people forget that, and students also feel that those literature courses are very difficult because dealing with history, dealing with the past, culture, and so on. But literature is what makes a person educated. There is ability to think about other people, other ways of life. One of the things that I try out with my class is that people should understand, how do the people of Africa think? Do we understand them at all? I mean, our roots are from Africa, but do we know how they think? Or what is Africa? This whole empathy thing is extremely essential for any person who is educated. And this is, there's a very famous book called The University. And it's about the ability to think beyond oneself. And what we try to do is to help people to organize their thoughts and to be able to think. We don't try to indoctrinate them. We don't try to tell them what to think. What we do try to do is, can you think? Can you organize your thoughts? Can you be fluent? In fact, one of the things I try to do in my classes is to get people to express themselves on whatever subject. But I say you have to say it in good English and you have to persuade people, especially those who don't agree with you. So you see, the more you think about languages and literature, the more your understanding of how big these courses are. And then we also serve the entire university in composition. We have a number of courses in literature. For example, we have American literature, we have English literature, we have African American literature, and we have critical, we have a lot of those courses which are optional, literary criticism, the novel, for example. How did people start writing novels? Why did they start writing novels? What are novels all about? The world of the imagination. All these courses, whether it's a senior seminar or whether it's literary criticism, or whether it's African American literature. All these courses are required. And same way with education, you have to do all these plus others so that you can become an educator. Then you have to go through other difficulties, to become an educator. But there are some things in common between the education and the liberal arts. I think that one of the great things about us is that we are able to be flexible and to get people to come in regardless of what their backgrounds are, what they might want to do in the future. There might be, 1,000 students, each one of whom wants to go a different way in life later on. But they all need this foundation which we provide. Once you have the foundation, you can go wherever you want. You can go into criminal investigation, you can go into sociology, all these things. I mean, you can't have a sociologist who can't express himself, right? You can't have an anthropologist who can't write well. So in that sense, we have this basic foundation of flexibility and diversity. That is, people, we think of people as human beings who have a tremendous potential. One of my mentors used to tell me that there is no such thing as a weak student. What we have is our weak teachers. If you have a good teacher, that teacher can bring out the best in any student. So in that sense, this is our strength. Diversity, flexibility, humanity, the ability to get people to express themselves, to bring out the best in themselves, and to be themselves, and not try to be what they're not. We don't want people to be politically correct. We want them to be correct in their thinking, and whatever they really feel, they should be able to express it. That's our real strength. So there's no point in teaching English if you feel that you should not be yourself. So one of the things I try to emphasize is that try to write poetry. Especially young people should write poetry. In the youth, that's the time when you are romantic, when you think that the world is a beautiful place and you're not writing poetry. You can even keep it secret for a while if you're not sure. So you see what kind of flexibility I'm looking for. I don't want to tell them what kind of poetry to write, but what I want to tell them is to write poetry. And you can even start with a personal diary, write for yourself. And then you can go on from there. So in that sense, our strength is the humanistic value.